Okay, ma'am, I just put you back in the waiting room for a minute because normally that'll correct the mute issue. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, yep, you're coming through fine.
Okay, you can hear me.
Okay, we're officially on the record now. Could you state your full name and date of birth for the record?
Nicole Lane Beavers, 92686.
This is People of the State of Michigan versus Nicole Lane Beavers, case number 21-0083-FY. Attorney Rowe, if you could place your appearance on the record.
Your Honor, Austin R. Rowe making a limited appearance for Ms. Beavers for purposes of arraignment. Ms. Beavers and I have discussed her charges. She waives the reading of charges. Furthermore, we've discussed her rights. She waives the advisement of rights.
Thank you, Mr. Rowe. Ms. Beavers, the next thing we need to discuss then is your right to an attorney. You can always retain your own attorney, ask the court to appoint one for you, or represent yourself. How would you like to proceed as far as attorneys concerned?
Court appointed.
Okay, let me ask you a few questions to determine your eligibility. First off, what would be a good phone number for your attorney to reach you at?
989-544-0469.
That was 989-544-0469.
Yes, please.
Okay, and then do you have an email address you want me to include as well, or just the phone?
You can do my email address too. It's Nicole, NICOL, and then REHAHN @gmail.com.
So you cut out for a second there. I've got Nicole, your first name, and then what comes after that?
REHAHN. It's like Rehan.
Okay, REHAHN.
Yep, @gmail.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am, your primary residence, do you rent, own, or live with others?
We were renting. That's how this all happened. We got evicted yesterday, so.
Okay. Okay, what's your current marital status?
Married.
And do you have any income right now?
I do not. His, but no, I don't have anything.
Do you have any significant assets?
Car and his name.
Okay, roughly what would you say your car's worth?
We just bought it for like $3,400.
Okay. I am going to find you eligible court-appointed attorney. I am signing the request for court-appointed attorney form right now. One will be appointed to you here momentarily. You may be responsible for all or a portion of the cost of a court-appointed attorney. That would be decided later in your case. Any questions about that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, your case will proceed on to a probable cause conference and a preliminary examination. We will send over notification of those court dates along with your attorney information. Also, you'll receive a copy of this bond form. That would take us to bond if you'd like to address it, Mr. Rowe.
Your Honor, Ms. Beavers asked the court to set her bond as a personal recognizance bond or a bond no higher than $1,000, 10%. She has lived in Clare County for 33 years. She says her parents live in Clare County. She tells me she's never been convicted of a crime before. There's a COVID-19 concern in the Clare County jail. Furthermore, she's presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So for those reasons, she asked the court to set her bond as a personal recognizance bond or a bond no higher than $1,000, 10%.
Thank you, Mr. Rowe. Ms. Beavers, you will receive a copy of this bond form. Make sure that you read through it and that you understand it. You will be subject to all of the normal bond conditions. In addition to that, based on what you're charged with, you cannot use alcohol, marijuana, or any other illegal controlled substances. You must participate in the substance abuse testing or monitoring program. Specifically, that's color code drug testing. Need to be signed up for that within 24 hours of any release and provide proof to the court that you're complying with testing protocol. Do you have any questions about those conditions?
I do not.
Okay. All right, ma'am. I have to take a lot of different things into account when setting a bond. Prior criminal history is one of them. Everything stated on the record by Attorney Rowe. What's alleged in the underlying offense. Also, the prosecutor's office has submitted a bond recommendation. according to their bond recommendation, doesn't look like you do have any convictions, but they do have listed that you do have outstanding warrants and failure to appear. Do you have a hold on you in any other county that you know of?
No, it's Midland County. We've done this like 4 times where I've gotten like pulled over and stuff. It should be all on record. Midland County is waiting for the other person that was actually the person that did the crime to get caught, that is like on the run or whatever. And then I've already like turned myself in, and then that's when I will go in and testify against type thing. Like, they're not taking me in. We call every time and they don't want to take me in until they get the other person that committed the crime.
Okay,
I don't know if
yeah,
you're allowed
seems
to say
like
the
they
name or
wouldn't have
whatever.
a warrant. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it puts you
like-
in a difficult position for them to have a warrant out for you if they're just holding you to testify against
Right,
somebody
see,
else.
and this was,
but-
it was like Saginaw County and Midland County. Saginaw Counties, I'm like in the middle of taking care of, and then they moved me over to take care of Midland Counties type of thing. Like, we just did it last week. I was at Dollar General and they pulled me over for my taillight being out, and they called Midland, and Midland was like, nope, we don't want it. We want to wait. We want to wait until all the, because of the whole COVID stuff and everything. So.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Well, like I said, I do have to take a lot of different things into account when setting a
Right.
bond. Prosecutor's office has submitted a bond recommendation in this case. They are asking for a 10,000 cash surety or 10% bond. I'm going to go lower than what they are asking for. But if you do post your bond, just make sure you follow all these bond conditions.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if you don't, you end up back in jail most likely. So I'll go $2,000 less than what the prosecutor's office is asking for, but you are still facing 2 felony accounts here. Bond will be set at 8,000 cash surety or 10%. So it's $800 cash you'd have to come up with to obtain your release, or you can try and go through a surety company where generally it's about a quarter of that amount. Do you have any questions about that?
No. No, I don't
Okay,
think so.
Mr. Rowe, anything further for the record?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, good luck to you, Ms. Beavers.
Thank you so much. You guys have a good day.
Thank you. Do you have any hearings this afternoon, Mr. Rowe? Or? Okay, we are officially on the record now. Could you state your full name and date of birth?
George Stephen Kohanek, 11/5/55.
Thank you, sir. This is People of the State of Michigan versus George Stephen Kalanick, case number 21-082-SD. Attorney Rowe, if you could place your appearance on the record.
Your Honor, Austin R. Rowe making a limited appearance on behalf of Mr. Kohanek for purposes of arraignment. Mr. Kohanek and I have discussed his charges. He waives the reading of charges. Furthermore, we've discussed his rights. He waives advisement of rights.
Thank you. Mr. Kalanick, the next thing we need to discuss then is your right to an attorney. You can always retain your own, ask the court to appoint one for you, or represent yourself. How would you like to proceed?
I believe I need to hire an attorney. I don't know one, but I'll find one.
Okay, you're going to retain your own attorney?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. If for any reason that does not work out for you, you never waive your right to a court-appointed attorney. So you can always come back in, ask for the court-appointed attorney form, or just give us a call. We'll ask you the qualifying questions over the phone. If you're found eligible, we give you an attorney at any time. But at this point, the court will enter not guilty pleas on your behalf. Case will proceed on to what is called a pre-trial conference. We will send over notification of that court date, and that would take us to bond, Mr. Rowe.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Kohanek asked the court to set his bond as a personal recognizance bond or a bond no higher than $5,000, 10%. Mr. Kohanek lives in Clare County. He's lived here for 6 to 7 months. He owns a house in Clare County. He has an aunt who lives in Clare County. He says that he's never been convicted of a crime before. Furthermore, he's never missed a court hearing before. There's a concern of the COVID-19 virus in the Clare County Jail, and Mr. Kohanek is presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So for those reasons, he asked the court to set his bond no higher than a personal recognizance bond or no higher than $5,000, 10%.
Thank you. Mr. Kalanick, you will receive a copy of this bond form. Make sure that you read through it and that you understand it. You will be subject to all of the normal bond conditions. In addition to that, based on what you're charged with, cannot use alcohol, marijuana, or any other illegal controlled substances. You must participate in a substance abuse testing or monitoring program. Specifically, that's color code alcohol testing. Need to be signed up within 24 hours of your release and provide proof to the court that you're complying with testing protocol. The jail will give you that information, but you can always call the district court clerk's office if you have any questions. Do you have any questions about those conditions?
No, I don't.
Okay. I have to take a lot of different things into account when setting a bond. Prior criminal history is one of them, or lack thereof. Everything stated on the record by Attorney Rowe. What's alleged in the underlying offense. Also, the prosecutor's office has submitted a bond recommendation. According to their bond recommendation, you do not have any prior criminal convictions or fails to appear, no outstanding warrants. They are asking for an $8,000 cash surety 10% bond. I am going to set your bond lower than what they're asking for, pretty close to what you're asking for, but a little higher than that. It'll be set at $6,000 cash surety or 10%, $600 cash you'd have to come up with to obtain your release, or you can try and go through a surety company where normally it's about 25% of that amount. Do you have any questions about that, Mr. Kalanick?
No.
Okay. Attorney Rowe, anything further for the record?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Kalanick, you are all set then. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Rowe, you are all set